Ladies and gentlemen, Kei Kim here. Welcome to the Daily Update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is up. It looks like almost 1% there on the S&P, 0.84% positive to be exact. It looks like NASDAQ did the same. Semiconductor up a little bit. Dow, small caps, transport, and the banks, they're up almost 1% each. We did see energy making a move today, almost 4% positive. Biotech up 1%. Healthcare, home builders about same. Utilities down. Retail's up 1.4%. Emerging market flat. Bitcoin did make a move today, 5.4%. Gold, silver, miners are slightly red today. Dollars pretty much flat. Oil's up. Treasury bond flat. VIX down 6.5%. Let's stick with S&P 500 ETF. Spider 65-minute chart here. So let's talk about what we talked about on the last night's daily update video. We talked about some of the levels here. You can see my pink moving average. Also, that was a level where we saw that gap getting filled, right? So once the gap gets filled, what happens? It's going to act as instant support. That's right there, right? So you can see when the gap got filled, this was where we closed yesterday, right here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is where we closed yesterday, right? Right on that, when the gap got filled, the selling slowed down, last hour, and that's last hour's candle, right? And that's again coinciding with my pink moving average. And then we slightly gapped up, and you can see that's right there. We slightly gapped up. You see that long wicks, upper wick and lower wick, right? That's a high wave spinning top candle. Basically, what it's telling us is that there was a lot of fluctuation on the second. There's a battle going on the second hour, right? After the gap up, right? You can see at one point there was a gap up and then it faded and looked bearish. But on the second hour, price was able to manage to stay above my pink dotted moving average. And then the third hour, we stayed up again. And then fourth hour, it looks like we see that move. A stronger move to the upside. Maybe a lot of short sellers are covering at that level. Maybe buyers are stepping in, seeing the market, seeing some consistency to the upside, right? Because it's been pretty much dragging down throughout the last 3 trading sessions where market gaps up, fades, and goes down all the way down all throughout the day. Well, today was a little bit different. We gapped up, held above, and then we made a move all throughout the day, right? You can see that's so first, second, third, that's a fourth. So what was going on is that this short-term moving average, I was tweeting things out at 2K Kim on Twitter and StockTwits. So you can see that short-term moving average coming down. We held we're trading right on it on the third hour, and then fourth hour we moved up above my short-term moving average. You can see right here. And this was important move. And then on the fifth hour, we held above it. Micro-term pivot on the sixth hour, we held above it. And you can see right here, we trying to break above it, but market managed to close just underneath 447.99. This is a level that I placed on the last night's update because that's that prior peak of lower high. So what the buyers need to do, obviously, at this point, we need to continue move to the upside, right? And, make this into a, lower high that could turn into a higher high, construction of higher high, right? Because then this can turn into that previous swing high could turn into high and higher high, right? So that's what the buyers are doing, and we talked about in the last night's update that, at some point you want to see this thing making a move to the upside and pull back and retest that short-term moving average, and we want to see that short-term moving average start climbing back up to the upside. If we can see something like that, I think there's a good chance that buyers can go after this gap right here. That's been open ever since back in early September 7th. So about a week ago, right, that gap was open, and ever since then, things been difficult. Remember, when the gap, when it remains open, like this is why I always said it's better to, kill that pressure. You guys hear me saying that a lot. That pressure, the downside pressure was never killed. So you can see that's when things got really difficult. The longer this gap stayed open, the longer hectic it became for the buyers. But right now, there's kind of looking at my short-term moving average, we're kind of a slightly in a neutral ground, just looking at last 2-3 hours of trading session or trading hours today. Buyers need more. Yes, we're holding above the short-term moving average right now for the last 3 hours. We need to thrust above it because we can very well just gap down, come right back down, right? We've seen that before right here. So we need to stay above it, but 447, 448 is going to be an important level to reclaim and then potential retest and make its move to the upside and fill this gap, kill that pressure, and then the short-term moving average climbing up to the upside like that, and then the sentiment shifting back to bullish in the short term. So I have to say, in the short term, I'm more neutral today. It will be important what happens tomorrow, because if we're to lose this level, right? If the buyers lose this level, we come back down, you know what I mean? I think things are going to be a little bit more hectic for the bulls. They have to pull something else, maybe some sort of an inverted head and shoulders like this, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, to make that work. But keep in mind, if we do come back down, we still have to categorize this market bearish in the short term, even short to midterm a little bit, just because it's been down in this downtrend for about a week and a half or so, right? So I think this momentum is a good momentum that we saw today, and I think it's best if the bulls can keep pushing and keep this momentum alive. Start to pulling back down. You never know what bears are up to at that point. So let's see how the market plays out tomorrow. Let's check out that oscillator and see if we can extract any more information. So this is what we talked about on the last notes update. Then we got the bullish divergence, lower lows, higher low, right? Energy was building. That's basically what it's saying. The energy was building. Bears are getting tired. Obviously, this thing came all the way from the overbought, came from overbought to oversold, but it didn't come straight down there. You can see all these whipsawing actions. These whipsawing actions tells us that there are a lot of dip buyers trying to buy that dip for a quick turnaround, but it was a rather hectic situation if you're one of those people that are trying to buy those dip and trying to find quick turnaround, because we can see we really never found that traction with that, oscillator come all the way back to the bottom of his band, and then it got to that oversold level, but with that bullish divergence right on the oversold level, not to mention, keep in mind, this level here, 443, 444, was an important level. Why? The gap just got filled, my pink moving average was in that vicinity, and it hit oversold and bullish divergence, right? That's why we almost kind of figure that we're going to see oversold bounce today, but it was important to see how this, if we, after seeing the oversold bounce like we saw today, if the price was going to hold up, and we did see that hold up. So that gives, because all throughout the day the price held up, right? We didn't see a fade, we didn't see a dramatic downturn, towards the end of the hour, nothing like that. So we actually rather saw this price holding up, and that's a good thing. And with that, what happened was, you see this oscillator looking pretty confident here. That looks like it's stretching, advancing, and separating and going to the upside. So build a good momentum here. Best case scenario for the bulls, gap it up. Why deal with this resistance here? You can see that's prior support, resistance, could turn to new resistance. Also, best case scenario, just gap it up, get up and fill this gap. And I think that if we see something like that, we'll have a much smoother transition back into cultivating and printing new all-time highs. Bears obviously want to see this coming back down, but with that oscillator really thriving after hitting oversold, I'm not sure if the bears are losing momentum at this point. I really think bulls are gathering momentum, but tomorrow will be important. How the market behave, how does the market react to this 447, 448 level right here? So I'll tweet things out in the morning or midday or so. You can follow me at 2K Kim on Twitter and StockTwitch, and I'll give you guys an update on where the price is, the right thing is going to happen. We'll go from there. Enjoy your evening. Good luck trading tomorrow.